Hey, I have a really fun project tonight. So we're going to be using this one. I love this. This one is called Hello Summer, of course, right? And I know it's not summer yet, but you know, we had like one really nice day yesterday, so let's get in summer mode. So let me just tip the camera down. And hopefully the lights won't be too crazy. I know I just realized as I hit the button to start, I'm like, oh my god, because I have the black on. Sometimes that makes the camera like spaz out. So let me just, before I do that, if you didn't see the last live on Sunday, this was our project from Sunday. This is the Club Couture transfer for this month. So if you signed up for, like totally like blocked what I was gonna say. So when you sign up for Club Couture, you get the transfer and you get 3 of the paste packs, and that's $19.99. So it's always, you know, a surprise what you're gonna get each month, but you'll be seeing that one again because I have a couple projects to make with that. Okay. So it's funny because I had a totally different project planned. I wanted to make a little like banner, but I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. So let me just show you what I'm using, and in addition to our transfer and everything. So I'm using this like craft foam, like for kids. So that's what it's kind of, this one is thin. And then this one is a little bit thicker. So this was what I planned on using for the popsicle sticks. But when I was looking for my extension cord to plug my glue gun into, I found little, of course I have little popsicle sticks. I actually, you would laugh, I have probably like 5 different sizes of popsicle sticks. But before I found those, I took, you know, so you didn't have to go buy that. I took the craft foam and I like just cut it and made like little sticks. So now that I did all that, I don't have to use that. It was just funny that I found it like 2 minutes before I was gonna go live. All right. Oh, I'm like, what does that smell? It's the glue gun. So I'm using a low temp glue gun because this like foam will it won't like catch on fire or anything. Well, I mean, I guess if you left it for long enough it would. But if I use my regular glue gun, it kind of melts it too much, so okay. So I just kept this over here so you could see the tag. Yeah, see, now the camera is a little crazy, but all right, so this is one of the Sylvie boards. So this is a 9x12, and I'm gonna make sure we turn it because the hanger is right on this side. Let's see if I put this back on here, it will help it. And then we're gonna do the popsicles on the black foam. So, but first we'll do the word summer. Wait, did I turn it the right? Now I'm like, okay, I did put it the right way. And so let me just fuzz that. So you're gonna just peel it off, and remember there's a shiny side. That's where we stick the transfer back on, and then the dull side. So I just want to like fuzz it because especially this transfer is brand new. I've never used it, so it's, you know, the stickiest it's gonna be. And sometimes when you stick the transfer down to like a slick surface like this, or even like a freshly painted surface, or you know, freshly stained or whatever, it'll kind of really get stuck. So, but once you use it a bunch of times, you don't really have to worry about that. Like I have some of my old transfers. When I go to use them, I like literally have to like hold them in place to use them because they have like no stick left. Okay, so I'm just gonna partially put it back on the sheet just so it's a little easier to get off. So we're just worried about getting, oops, let me just kind of put it sort of straight. Just worried about getting the word summer, because we're going to actually put that right on the bottom of the board. And I'm just going to keep fighting with this. Okay. Oh my gosh, what am I thinking? Let's go. Like, all right. Let me just smooth it out a little bit. So it doesn't really matter how it is at the top. I'm just wanting the word summer to be free. Okay. And I will tell you, cutting that craft foam, like the thicker craft foam with the scissors and trying to cut tiny pieces, you better have a lot of patience because it does not want to cut. And it was like the little pieces were like going everywhere. Okay, so it's pretty straight. So I'm just lining it up with the bottom of the transfer to the bottom of the frame. And now I'm just trying to get the wrinkles out so we don't have air bubbles. This is a really sticky transfer. And again, not worried about pressing it down there, just where my, just right where my letters are. And so this part I'm gonna do in white. And the colors I'm using, I have Daffodil, Peony, Honeydew is a discontinued color, but I think Pistachio is like almost the same color. And then Cool Breeze, the same thing. And let's see, I'm not sure what color, but there's, you know, there's other colors that are very similar. And then I have this purple that I have no idea what the name of it is because it's that old. And it's actually, I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of white because I was keeping everything kind of pastel, but I needed some other kind of color. I didn't want like blue. All right, so we're gonna do this in white. And hopefully all my paste is good to go because I just used most of the pastes and kind of went through them all the other day, so. So I'm just gonna only go over the summer part. And then just scoop off the extra and try to avoid having lines and missing spots. Like a little line right there. Okay, and then put the extra right back in. And then I'm just going to carefully peel this up. You know, everyone will think I have beautiful handwriting, and I wrote that. Okay, so I'm just going to slide that out of the way for a second. And now I'm going to take the transfer and, well, and now you get to learn something because look what I just did. So, first thing, when this happens, don't panic. And actually, that came apart really easily. If that did not come apart, I really wasn't pulling it that hard. What you want to do is take your transfer to the sink and just run some cool water, and it'll kind of like loosen itself from like the other side. And now just so I don't get it stuck on my table. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna put the backer sheet right under the word summer, because that's just gonna make it a little easier for us to do the other part. All right, so we have this. I'm just gonna move this to the side over here so that I don't knock it right off the table. I think I'm gonna keep that underneath. Okay, so now we have our little piece of the black foam. Just has like, it's very staticky. So of course it has dog hair on it, you know? So just gonna put it right under. Now you could decorate these so many different ways. If you look, there's like little speckles, and not speckles, like sprinkles, oh my gosh. You could go and you could, after you finish, go and like, you know, embellish them and do glitter or whatever. I'm gonna see how it looks, because they might be like a little bit weird because it'll look like black sprinkles. So I probably am gonna find something to do them with. I couldn't find anything like for today. I might just take one of the chalk markers. I have white. Yeah, I have a white chalk marker. I might go in and just like dot those after everything is dry, and just because it might be a little weird looking with black sprinkles. Okay, so first I'm gonna make my little thing of purple, whatever purple paste, whatever this color is here. I almost want to say it was like grape or something, or grape soda, or and of course I can't open it. So this is how the paste came when I first started. They were smaller jars and they have these little like inner caps. So now they say that the paste only lasts for a year. Well, I know for a fact I bought this like more than 3 years ago. So I don't know. I still use it. I still have a couple of the little ones. It's like when you get to a certain point with the colors, and then it's like you have so many choices, but I always tend to use the same couple of colors. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just kind of taking a little, and I'm just gonna kind of just mix it. I just want it to be like the same kind of coloring as the other colors. I want it to look a little pastel. So I'm just gonna mix it till I don't see the dark color come through or like the white. So that's what the great thing, if you don't have a color that you need, you can kind of, you know, figure it out and get, you know, close to a color. It's like takes you back to like elementary school art. Gosh, I'm having all kinds of problems with the paste jars. All right, so I'm gonna do, let's see, let me put my colors in order, then I'm gonna use them. So I'll do the purple. I just want to keep my green and my yellow far away from each other because they are pretty similar. So I'll probably just put them, so I'll probably just go in this order here. Bunch of squeegees. Oh my god, I feel like my hands aren't working or something. I just got a paper towel here. Alright. I guess it's okay for my hands to not be working on this part, but once I start using the scissors, I hope they're good. Alright. So we're gonna cut these out after I do this. So hopefully, oops, I have a couple little streaks of color in there. That's all right. I'm just gonna kind of go across it on an angle just to kind of make it so those don't look like little lines. I really like this color. It's kind of like a lilac. Okay. And we don't care about the sticks because we have our own. Just get rid of those those little marks. What's that one? Okay, so we're gonna just give this a second. So there's our first one. So I learned my lesson though with this stuff. You can't dry it with the heat tool, no matter how no matter how careful you are. So let's see. Let's see if I can kind of. I feel like I'm just living on the edge here. Okay, so I have it kind of stuck on there. So now I'll just press this down. Okay, just because that one is, I don't know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when we get a little further down. All right, so this one, I want to just give this one a stir because even though I just used it like 2 days ago. Such a nice, like, well, I know this is summer, but like spring colors. And actually the project I was gonna do, I'll just say it, it's okay. There's an Easter banner, so cute with like Easter eggs. And I'm not worried that I'm getting it right on that little part down there. It doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna know because we're gonna cut it right off. You know, I wonder if we could kind of just go and do at least one more. Now, I mean, I have like a whole bunch of squeegees, but you really don't need to have a ton of them. I could tell you, I absolutely hate washing the squeegees, and I don't know why. It's like so stupid, but yeah. I think it makes it easier, especially like a project like this. You know, you just kind of can keep going. But so you don't really need a ton of tools. Okay. Now I'm just gonna peel this up. So just kind of hang on to the, I feel like I always make a face when I do this too. Okay. So I'm gonna try to not stick it back down yet. So I just want to be careful that I don't obviously touch where the paste is wet. And it does, certain surfaces, it does take a little longer to dry on. And this, I don't know, for some reason, it kind of, I don't know if it's because it like sits on top of it, but it does take a little bit longer to dry than, you know, like if you were on, you know, like the regular chalkboard or whatever. I want to put something under it again and do that, but I don't know how well that'll work. You could go and do each step so you weren't worried about messing it up. And I don't care if I'm moving my transfer really, as long as I have it stuck on the one I'm doing. That's all that matters. Because, and I'm gonna try to do these. Let me just get this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna try to do these two at the same time. And I just flicked a piece of dried paste right in this one. So whenever I do that, I always want to try to scoop it out, because then the next time I go to use it and I go across, it's gonna skip and it's just gonna be a pain. I feel like this is like a little MacGyver concoction here. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my finger right there so that it stays stuck down. The one that's in the yellow. So this paste is a little bit thick, but it'll be fine, especially because we're doing it last, so it'll be okay. And the reason for choosing the black is really, it's what I had. But you could use whatever color you know, foam you wanted. Just keep in mind whatever color you choose, that's what color your letters are going to be in. Ooh, that might have just messed that one up. Hopefully not. Ah! Okay. So there are our little popsicles. Oh my gosh, they almost look like Easter eggs because the pastel. All right, I'm having a problem with this transfer because I just stuck it to itself again. All right, so now I'm just leaving it on the backer sheet so when I'm all done, I can go and clean it off in the sink. So I'm just gonna move it out of the way. Let me just get rid of some of these things here. And that, oh, I love that purple, but I don't have it's not really enough to save it. But that's why whenever I finish any of my chalk paste, I always keep the little containers. Like I save all I have like a lot of those older ones. Because then when I make a color, it's so pretty, I have to keep it. I was working on some other stuff today with a watermelon transfer that's retired, and I didn't want it to be like just red or whatever, but I made this color. This looks kind of gross, but it's just such a pretty, well, I don't know if it really shows up there, but it's like a really kind of, I don't know, it's a pretty color. But I was doing, that was ink though. Okay. Popsicle sticks. So let's see. The only thing is, this is not going to be dry yet. Let's see. I'm just kind of looking to see what is dry here. This would actually be really cute if you got whatever colors you were doing the paste in, if you got like a different, like, say like the purple, if you got like a darker purple than what you were using or a lighter purple or something, so that would make it, your little sprinkles wouldn't be black and your letters would be whatever color. It's definitely still wet. Hold on. Now I'm like, what can I do? Let's see. Let's check how this is doing. So here's our board we're gonna put it on. So I'm gonna put this together with painter's tape because I don't want to like hot glue to my chalkboard. I was actually trying to find a piece of wood. And of course, yes, I have a ton of wood downstairs, but just this right size. But I didn't have it, so I thought, like, what, the chalkboard will be cute and I can do it this way. So we'll keep that here. Okay. I'm just gonna cut the first one out and we'll kind of see how this goes. I just hope I hope that the other ones, by the time I get to them, are dry enough. I didn't think about that. See, now looking at it, the yellow and the green kind of look the same, but it's hard to tell, like, and depending on what surface you're putting them on. So now these don't have to be cut like perfect because there's a little bit of the black line behind it. You're not going to know because you're putting it on, you know, it's going to be, so there's a little bit on that one. I'm just going to cut them. If I mess them up, I'll just redo them. So I'm just going to leave myself a little bit at the bottom so that I can hang on to it. And I'm just going just outside the paste. It's another one of those things when I do, I feel like I hold my breath when I use scissors. Not like I'm afraid I'm gonna like cut my finger off, but. So this stuff, I discovered this craft foam, like I saw somebody else use it and I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's so, there's so many neat things you can do with it, especially if you're, you know, if you don't use like a, you know, a saw, like sometimes I'll cut the shapes with like a jigsaw, not, yeah, sometimes a jigsaw, but like, I have like another kind of saw, forget the name of it. So if you're intimidated by doing that, plus, you know, it's cold to be out there when it's like freezing cold and cutting little pieces of wood. So this kind of gives you that 2D look without having it to be wood. I don't know if I have anything right here that I cut, but oops. So I thought this would be cute too to do it in like red, white, and blue. You know, like those pops that are like red, white, and blue. That would be cool too. Okay, I'm just gonna go kind of cut the bottoms off. Oh my gosh. They're sort of dry. These like, they really make me think of like Easter eggs. I don't know if it's because of the colors I picked or what. I should probably change that to Hello Spring. I must have another, I'm sure I have another transfer that says spring. I know, I definitely have like fonts I could do that with, but. So I know the Ice Cream Man has been out, so this is, it would be fitting for spring. I saw on Facebook he was out yesterday. It's so funny, like when I was little, I feel like the Ice Cream Man never came to our street, like ever. Here, like it seems like sometimes in the summer it like he like comes like a couple times a week. Okay. I never really get ice cream though, because we have tons of ice cream in the freezer. Okay. You could cut these if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna kind of put them in there like that. This would also make a really cute banner, so if you just didn't do that part, That would be really cute for like a birthday party or something, and just hello. It's too bad you couldn't have other letters. That would be cute. I'm sure I could figure out a way though. All right, I'm kind of lining up the top of the stick, like on the back, right with the top of the letter. So hopefully they're kind of all consistent. And like I said, I'm using a low temp glue gun. Actually, here, let me just... I'm actually gonna just line them all up like this, because now they're kind of dry enough that I can leave them flipped over. And this, I'm not sure, I could still make a line on them, but we'll see. Maybe I should put, I'm gonna just push them up. I'm just doing that because I'm using the line on my table to where I want to, like, how much I want to have the stick sticking out. So that way they all are like sort of the same. And I know why I don't use this glue gun anymore, because it drips all over the place. And I don't know how well this is really gonna end up staying. But like I said, I am gonna tape them with like painter's tape. This would be really cute if you made like a wood sign or something and stuck it in a wreath on your front door. And obviously you could do it, have it say like, hello spring. This is perfect. I'm not gonna have to use another glue stick either. Okay, they look pretty close to even. Oops. Which is nice because this glue doesn't really burn you. Okay. Now, I did not think about where my tape is though. Oh, because I put my little stuff to be cleaned on top of it. So if we had done with the, let me just grab one of these, with the little sticks I made, just to give you a visual, would have just been like that. So if I make this project again, then I'll use those. Oh my gosh. So easy way to get rid of the glue strings is get your project all done and then take your hair dryer on just a very low heat and it just kind of like blow dry your project and it'll like break all those glue strings. All right, so let's kind of see where we're gonna go here. That foam is everywhere. Just so I can, you know, I actually kind of like it like not straight. So I'm just gonna use like, you know, little loops of tape. All right, so put this in the middle. And again, if I were using some other surface, I would just, you know, I would just hot glue these right on. And I will tell you, handling them, it's gonna make the paste chip off. So just, you don't wanna handle them too much. I don't know. I guess I'll just leave them a little more than I want it to. I don't want it to look like I messed up and they're crooked, but I can always go back. I mean, you could get really crazy with this if you wanted to put like, take the paste and put little drops on there like they were dripping. Maybe I'll kind of tip it like that. And from my angle, I really can't tell if it's like straight or not because I'm kind of looking at it in the camera, in the phone rather. Because, oops, the tape is showing. How about not putting the tape crooked so that, okay. So I like how it's like a little, you know, it's a little dimensional. So if I were going to do this again, I probably wouldn't do both the yellow and the honeydew color. I am going to just stick these so they kind of make the stick pop up because I think it looks really cute like that. So there is our project. Oh my gosh, I love it. I feel like I say that every time, but I really do. I guess that's, you know, that's why I do this, right? All right, well, thank you so much for watching and have a great night.